Okay, so we finally come to the end of chapter 12, which is also the end of part 3 of our textbook, which covers the planning phase of project management. And so when all the planning that goes into a project is complete, you are ready to kick off the project. And so the kickoff meeting is an opportunity to bring the stakeholders together and go over the plan as it's been developed. This can be a very exciting time in a project. Usually people are pretty eager to get started, and it's an opportunity to just essentially reaffirm everyone's commitment to the project, to make sure everybody is on board and understands what the expectations are, and to get things started. So the sponsor and the project manager are really the leaders of the kickoff meeting. It's up to them to set the tone, make sure everybody understands what is expected of them, and what the direction of the project is going to be. At the kickoff meeting, the core members of the team who are going to be working on the project throughout till its completion, they commit to the project, and they commit themselves to the project. And like I said, this is partially it's not exactly a party, but it is an atmosphere where people should have a lot of enthusiasm. It's a way to get to know the other team members and start building that relationship that's going to be required to work together throughout the life of the project, whether that's the next several weeks or months, or for very large projects, potentially even years. This is a time when the leaders need to make sure that they're listening to all their project members, that they're understanding everyone's point of view, and really getting to know their team. And this sense of camaraderie, this sense of partnership and teamwork enhances the buy-in, which we've mentioned several times before. It's important that people feel that they're really a part of the team, that they are valued, and that their contributions are going to help the project reach its ultimate successful conclusion. So, what actually gets done at a kickoff meeting? Well, everyone who is in attendance at the meeting needs to make sure that they know what they need to know about the project so that they can begin work on it, that they have all the most up-to-date, most recent information. So whether that's a set of construction documents, or plans, directives, memos, whatever format they are in. I'm just trying to think of different types of projects. I know I tend to always think of construction projects because of my background, but whatever the case may be, there may have been some changes made throughout the planning process, and this is where you need to make sure everyone knows what the changes have been, or at least what the final plan is before execution begins. The formality of the meeting can vary a lot depending on the size and type of project. This could be for small projects. It might be a really quick meeting for everyone to just kind of come together, quickly go over the project and sign the charter, and then that's it. Or it could be a big thing with maybe like some type of groundbreaking ceremony, or some other pomp and circumstance. But it is the meeting that defines the end of the planning stage and the beginning of the execution phase of a project. So it's really a major milestone in the life of the project. There are example agendas and lists of activities that can be found in the textbook. I won't go over all of them here. And then finally, the term baseline is used in the textbook. Basically, it is that final approved plan that I was talking about. The plan, depending on the project, could have gone through several iterations. The final plan may look significantly different than what it did in the early phases of the project plan. But that final approved plan is the baseline, and so everyone needs to make sure that they know what the baseline is. It becomes the official plan at the time of the project kickoff, and so during the planning process, you might be kicking around a lot of ideas and brainstorming and testing different things out. But once everyone agrees to the baseline plan and it is approved, it is the plan. And so any changes, any deviations from this plan needs to be done in a formal way. So again, I'm thinking of construction projects. Once the final drawings are approved and released to the contractor, then any changes that are made to it have to go through, depending on who originates the change. If it's a change coming from the architect or the owner, they might issue a set of revised drawings and specifications, and that would have to be formally communicated to the construction team. If the contractor is finding existing conditions to be different than what was originally planned, they might order a change order, which again is a formal change to the original plan, to the original contract. And so essentially what I'm saying here is that any changes made to the plan after the kickoff meeting, after the baseline, has to be recorded and documented in an official way. So like I said, this marks the end of the planning phase, and in both the project as well as our class, as far as our class schedule is concerned. This brings us to the end of part 3 of the textbook, and we will now begin to look at the actual execution of projects.